One UI 9 is now official, and we have the final version running on our Galaxy Z Fold 8. Let's go through and see what's new. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. One UI 9 is official. Samsung have kept to their word and launched the new version of Android alongside their new foldable launch, which means with One UI 9, we get... If I go into software information, got to complete the circle. Got to do it properly. Android 17. Great news for everyone who has enjoyed full versions of Android with Samsung in the past. Samsung have kept to their word and we still have it here. So I want to start what is new with Galaxy AI. So if I go into the settings, go into Galaxy AI here, we can go through and show you the new stuff that Samsung have brought in. It's not a lot though, but there is still stuff to talk about. Let's start with the new thing to Call Assist, and it's called Call Brief. Now, Call Assist brought in call screening with One UI 8.5. We now have something called Call Brief. The way this works is it will show events and other information on the call screen when it's relevant to your call. So if you're getting a phone call and someone brings up relevant information, like it's transcribing it as you're on the phone, it's actually going to bring that relevant information that is mentioned to the call screen, so you can maybe check for the calendar, check the gallery, and it'll bring it to the forefront. Now, I haven't had the chance to use this yet, as I've only just had this for a day and haven't even put my SIM card in it just yet, but you get the idea of how this is meant to work, and, well, I think that's pretty neat. Next one, if we go back out of there, there is a totally new heading you will see called My Fan Cam. So if we go into My Fan Cam, what this tells you it does is it keeps subjects front and center in videos no matter how they move. Select who to follow and the shot will track them throughout the recording. What's great is I do actually have a video of my son playing football. Now it's filmed on an S26 Ultra, so it's not quite filmed on this. But the great thing is you can pick any phone or any video that you captured on any device and it will work. So that's my son scoring a goal there. Great strike, and runs he off celebrating. So I'll take the video back to the start and I'll hit the Galaxy AI key. So make sure the person's visible in the frame. So there he is, number 8. So I'll hit the My Fan Cam option. You can see audio eraser there. And then what's going to happen is using AI, it's going to detect the people that it can track in the frame. So I'm going to tap on my son. As you can see, it's brought up a whole different bunch of aspect ratios. So I can go 1:1, 3:4, 9:16, 2:3. There's a whole bunch of different ones there. You also have the landscape option too, if you wanted to stick with that aspect ratio. But let's say you want to do it on social media. You want it to be 9:16. I hit follow. What's going to happen is it's going to frame that subject as per that aspect ratio. It's going to keep it centered, and then it's going to match the subject's movements. As you can see, it's zoomed right in. So when I hit play, the ball will come out to him. It's followed, follows the ball, and then it immediately swings back over to where he is running down and celebrating, and keeps him centered the entire way, as well as doing little zooms and cropping as it goes. Excellent. What a great feature, and one that I'm very excited to use in this particular way. And then I can save it as a copy, and it's going to save both the original and the copy, so I have both versions of the video. Really like that one. Getting out of the video that was saved and back into Galaxy AI's menu. I'm going back into here. There's nothing new from a heading standpoint that stands out, but I've gone through all of them and there's something new inside of Now Brief. Now Brief, you have the content to include section, which obviously allows you to have all the different toggles of things that you want to include in your Now Brief. They've kind of sectioned it off a little bit cleaner. I'll go through the UI of settings in a moment, but what you will see that's new here is custom cards. So when I hit of custom cards here, you can see I've already created one. And you can create your own Now Brief cards with information that's important to you. So if I hit the little information key, it tells you can create up to 3 custom cards at one time. And if you've reached the limit, you can delete one and create a new one. So you can't have more than 3. And then there's a limit to how many times you can generate and edit custom cards each day. If you reach that limit, you could try again the next day. So try and get it right the first time, because you can't just keep editing it. But there is an option to edit it should you get it wrong. Going back and hitting the plus icon, there's 3 different subjects that you can choose from. You've got weather, you've got health, and you've got videos. So within each one as well, so let's say I choose health, you will see there is little categories that you can select. So whether you want it to be energy score, running this week, calorie intake, water. You select them, water, steps, and daily activity. You also have things like videos. So if you wanted to have videos pop up in your Now Brief, you can say sports. And let's say I want to show me videos of Lionel Messi. Hit next. Then you get to choose when the cards show up. So it can be every day at 6 o'clock, every day at 9 a.m., every day at 2 p.m., every day just before bed. Maybe I want some Lionel Messi magic. Hit generate, and then it's going to validate the prompt, and it's going to create the card, and then that'll slot into your Now Brief. So you can see here, show me every day at 9 p.m. The custom card is created. I hit done, and then it takes me through the Now Brief, and there it is. You can hit view details. That's the card that you've created, and this card will appear in your Now Brief every day at 9 p.m. And then you can select a video, take you straight through to YouTube. Pretty neat. So that's the Galaxy AI stuff that's new. It's not really much more than that, to be honest. But as far as AI stuff goes, there is something new to do with Bixby, and there's a new Bixby widget. So if I hit widgets and I go to Bixby, you will see that there's some Bixby widgets there that you can choose from. So it's all centered around voice prompt and text prompt. And because Bixby's now got this Perplexity add-in, you can add the Bixby widget in, and you can type or select the Bixby voice icon directly from there. Very similar to the way like the Gemini widget will work, and it allows you to sort of ask AI through Bixby. And then you also have the option to check your previous history and conversations from there as well. There's some other stuff around the home screen that you may or may not have noticed yet. This Google search widget here is permanent. So if I long press on this, you actually can't move it or delete it. Well, you can. It says you can now show or hide this search bar in home screen settings. So if I go into the home screen settings here and I scroll down a little bit, you will see show search on home screen. Now, you have the option to have two things. You can have search and finder, and then they will both permanently be there. So the search for Google, the finder is obviously for Samsung apps and services within your phone. Or you can choose, if I go back into the settings here, go back into here, to have them both off, which means it goes back to normal, and then you just see that's displayed there instead. So I guess that sort of goes back to Android 17 and how Google sort of forced that search icon to always be there at the bottom. Here's a toggle though to turn it off. Thank goodness, because that would look pretty silly there all the time. You want to be able to put your Google widget wherever you like. Yeah, whew. There's something else new in there as well. If I go into settings and scroll down, this is probably a foldable feature. I'm not sure whether this will go down to slab phones, but you can see here it's to do with the taskbar, recent or suggested apps. So when it's not the taskbar, you get the dock. So everything's down the bottom there with the dock. But you have the option, I don't know why I keep doing that, to go into settings, and then you have the option to also show recent apps there, like the taskbar does. So it means it's going to have a little separation, and then your recent apps will appear next to it, which is kind of neat. It just means that you don't always have to go back into this section. The recent apps can appear there. And then when it does launch into the taskbar, it sort of becomes that as well. I thought that was kind of cool. Now, there is some updates to visuals for some apps. So if I go into Samsung Health, for example, we have done an entire video about the new Samsung Health layout. This has adopted a completely different user interface. So you've got all of your categories of your health metrics at the top here now, and you've got little cards within each one. But I'd suggest go watch the full video, because that will break down everything new about Samsung Health, and especially with the launch of the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 and the Galaxy Watch 9, that will be very, very relevant for you. But it's not just Samsung Health. My Files has got a bit of an update, not on the inner display though. This kind of still looks like the foldable form factor that we've been used to, but it's on the cover screen. Here's the home screen for My Files on the cover screen. So you can see that Samsung, that little stack style they had of everything running across this way, has been moved back to this formula, which is having everything sort of squared off. It's pretty much the same everywhere else, apart from this little area, which is neither here nor there, but it's new. What I did notice too is if I go into Reminder, Samsung have actually made Reminder work with One UI. And by that, I mean it has the one-handed mode, where you can actually swipe it down to make it one-handed. But it wouldn't do that before. It would stay like this, and then you couldn't bring that stuff down, whereas now it has. Now I'm going to launch the camera. And I think for me, the camera is kind of where there isn't really too much going on. There's nothing new in the settings. Everything in here is pretty much the same as it was before. And in terms of features, you get stuff here, but it's mainly tied to hardware. So you get the new horizontal lock feature, which is there, but that was One UI 8.5 anyway. And you also get the new APV tied to hardware though, because it's tied to the chipset. But also that was One UI 8.5. The one new thing I've noticed is in Pro Video mode. So if I go to the More tab and go to Pro Video, the thing that's changed is the frame rates on offer because there's a lot more. So if I tap on the resolution up there, you will see under UHD, there is now a massive amount of frame rates. So you've got at the bottom there 25, 50, and 100. They're all brand new. And then you've also got 48, also new. 24 was there before, but these new ones I think are really good. And then if I go to 8K, you've also got 8K 25 as an option to go with the 24 and 30 that was already there. So some good stuff in there as far as if you're a pro video recorder and you like to record things, you have the option for a lot more frame rates and it's across a lot of the resolutions too. We talked about it in our One UI 9 hands-on way back as the beta dropped, but there's a new Samsung Dex UI, and by new, I mean it's like fractionally new. When you launch the multiple desktops, you have a new UI where you can see the other desktops across the top as you keep adding them. That's different to how it was before. It just gives you a bit of a preview of each desktop as they are up the top there, and you can jump between them a lot easier. And then within the connected devices section, what you will notice is that there is something new here called driving report. Now, this is basically where you can record your drives automatically so you can see your patterns. It gives you your insights and habits at a glance, and then it gives you weekly reports. So if I hit continue, there's some permissions that you need to allow, and then you need to connect to a vehicle via Bluetooth. Now, I don't yet have this connected to a car, but it's pretty easy to be able to do. You just hit the plus icon and then select it. And then what will happen is every time that your car gets connected to the phone, it will track the driving and then give you the habits and the insights. So driving report is new and becomes part of One UI 9. What's also new, and you'll see it right at the top of the settings, if I go back, it's warranty and care. So if I tap on this, effectively the way this works is any device with your Samsung account logged into will appear here. And you have the option to go through and get some troubleshooting and some support for them. So if I go, let's say, into my S26 Ultra, you can see I've got covered by limited warranty, and then I've got things that maybe are wrong with it. And then if I tap on one of those, it's got some categories of things that may be going wrong. Phone feels slow. So I can tap on that, and it actually will take me through to Samsung members where I can chat with someone or get some remote management. But if you want to try and solve some of it yourself, you've also got the option for troubleshooting through Bixby. So you could obviously just jump into Bixby, but here it kind of gives you some things that are relevant to phone performance. So it prompts you with it's wet with water, so it won't charge. Fingerprint recognition keeps failing. Device is getting very hot. So if any of those are going wrong, you can then tap that and then it'll give you some solutions using AI to try and solve it. And it's all geared around Samsung content. So you can see it's analyzing official manuals, and then it'll start to populate those responses. And then when it does populate those responses and gather the relevant information, it will then bring you all of that. So it's also linked to things like settings. So if you wanted to optimize now, you can tap through and it'll go straight through to device care to do that. And you can see it's all linked to the phone that you've got, which is great. And then the last point here is the UI has kind of been made a little bit cleaner, a little bit neater, a little bit more distraction free. So perfect example I've got of that is if I tap on Galaxy AI, all of the descriptions that used to be there for Galaxy AI are gone. Everything now is just a much cleaner looking interface, and anything that does need a description, it kind of separates it from the little box that's there and adds it in down the bottom here in sort of different writing, smaller writing, not as in the way. So you still get that information, but it's just delivered a lot more distraction free and a lot more cleaner. It's the way right through the settings. Everything gets those little sort of descriptions in a different way than what they were delivered before. Things like the media player too. So if I play, let's say, a YouTube video and I exit out of it, it's still playing there in the background, but the whole user interface around the media player is a lot different. Samsung have kind of cleaned that up too. and made it a little bit more user-friendly to view. And also the quick panel. If I go down here, you can see the thickness of the brightness slider and the volume toggle is a lot bigger too, but of course you can go and edit a lot about both of those things, so you don't necessarily need to have them as in your face, and everything's a lot more customizable thanks to One UI 8.5 because of that as well, which everything is still the same there. You still have your out control and your customizable quick panel that you can edit. So that is One UI 9. That's it running on the Z Fold 8. Obviously be looking to do some more comparisons once things like the S26 Ultra gets updated properly and exits the beta. How does that look versus this? Maybe if it goes back to S25 Ultra as well, what does that look like too? So hit subscribe to SamMobile TV. You don't want to miss that. If you want to order any of the devices Samsung have announced today, use the link in the description. Go visit us on our website, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.